What's up, you guys? FSC, FeszchakShop Speed and Custom Shop. Today's going to be a very different video from normal ones that I do. Obviously, you see behind me a very much incomplete but completely intact 1965 Ford Galaxie 500. Pardon the wind noise. It really didn't aim to film today, other than the fact that I had to move some stuff around the shop and I had this buried in the back. So I wanted to be able to show you what I have. And now, if you look at the title of the video, you'll see I'm selling this car. But here's the caveat: I'm not selling it as is. So if you're looking for a project car to buy cheap, go ahead and skip this video, but go ahead and subscribe anyway. But go ahead and skip this video because this car wouldn't be for you. Here's what I've got. This car is a 1965 Ford Galaxie 500. I bought this car from Washington State. Now, the reason I bought it from Washington State is it's all solid. Now, it was originally green. Show you a picture here of what it looked like factory. This is not the exact car that I have. This is one like it with the same color options that this was. This car was green. Now, I bought it from Washington State out there over by Seattle, Tumwater specifically, anybody's curious. I was able to get the car because they were sitting on it for quite a long time. The car was, as you see right here, this is how I got it. The car was, for whatever reason, primed over the original paint, and to be honest, it looked terrible. So I decided I was going to strip the car down to bare steel and start on the very little body work that it needed. It did, at the time, need some quarter panel work. Any filler that you see on the car is because I just a little bit of fill over a couple of very small dents. I didn't want to ruin the interior of the vehicle by melting through. Even with a Unistar, it will start to smolder off the rust coating on the inside. Better just give it a slight skin coat. Now, this quarter panel was able to be patched with a small piece right here at the very bottom, as you can see. The other side is where the bigger issue was, and this was a panel. This was a replacement of a larger section. The bottom section I cut off and replaced. As you can see, it's not done yet. The car, unfortunately, has a story of sitting even since I got it. When I bought this car, life was different for me. And what happened was I bought it in Seattle with the idea it was going to be someone else's car. It wound up becoming my car. Yes, I have a clean title for it, so you don't have to worry about chasing down titles. With that being said, I bought it intention it was going to be someone else's car. That didn't happen. That was when I had my original shop in Fond du Lac. And obviously, I have moved since then. Now, when I moved, I simply took the car with me, and with everything else that's gone on since I came here in 2015, the car basically sat. I didn't do anything with it, unfortunately. It just sat around waiting for me to one day get to it. And right now, I got other projects going on right now. I've got a 69 Chevelle build, 68 Chevelle build, 98 Mustang build, on top of other stuff I'm doing for myself. But with that being said, I do have this car. Now, again, as you can see, she's stripped down. There is no more green paint on it. The cowl in the car is just sitting there. That still is yet to be stripped. So ultimately, I stripped the car down and was going to paint it. So why am I bringing this video to you? Well, the idea here is simple. The idea is to take this car and make it your own. If you don't know how to work on them, that's perfectly acceptable. I'll do that for you. The car came with a factory green interior. Personally, I don't think I would change that. But with it being a green interior, there's only so many exterior colors this car would look good in. It was all green originally from factory. So with it being a lighter green color, you could change the car color exteriorly to pretty much anything you want, provided you think it goes good with the green interior. Obviously, you can reupholster the car, but that's a lot of money. Now, the car doesn't have a huge amount of value to it, being it's a four-door. If it was a two-door or a convertible, you probably wouldn't be watching this video because, well, it's a desirable car. It looks like nothing else on the road today, but if it was a convertible, you'd be looking at a huge price to own this car. So me personally, I think this car would go perfect for something like if you have a kid that's getting his first driver's license, or you just want something that you could drive regularly and not worry about breaking down or having problems. In other words, it's cheap and easy to keep up with. This car has an inline six-cylinder. If I remember right, it's 231 cubic inch. I could be wrong in that. If I am, I'll display it right here on the bottom. That's the proper cubic inches. Whether I'm right or wrong, this is the right number. I've looked it up since when I edited this. So it's got the inline 6-cylinder. It actually has a pretty good exhaust system on it. It sounds pretty sweet. It's like basically it's got a Flowmaster muffler. As you can hear, it's got a real nice idle to it sitting there at an idle. It is a low cube 6-cylinder, so it doesn't have that big throaty V8 sound when you're gassing on it. But when you just start it up to pull out of the spot, I think it sounds pretty nice. Under the hood, you have an inline 6-cylinder. Believe it to be 231 cubic inches. Right now, it still runs, believe it or not, on factory points. I do have an electronic ignition conversion for it that I plan to put in it. The carburetor does need to be rebuilt. It sat a long time in Washington State, and they have mandatory ethanol up there. And that ethanol gas sitting in this carburetor for years and years gummed it up. All I did is I shut the choke, and that's how I get it to run, is with the choke basically constantly closed. So it runs very rich right now, but it does run. It just runs good enough for me to move it around the lot, get it warmed up, and then shut it down, and that's about all. Obviously, it doesn't do the engine any favors running that way, but again, it isn't finished. The battery in it isn't even the right one either. It's just actually, it's an old truck battery that I have just to get it started moving. Obviously, when you would get the car from me, it would have a brand new battery ready to ride. Listen to how nice that closes too. This car is a 4-door, but one thing I love about it is the fact that with both windows rolled down, you have no solid B-pillar. So it still looks pretty badass with the windows all the way down. You can completely pass your hand right through. The car is definitely set up to have a nice amount of ventilation with all the windows rolled down. The interior, of course, is not the best, but it's not the worst either. Honestly, it's mostly just simply filthy. One other little trick I wanted you to see here. This is pretty cool. The wing window. The car does not have air conditioning, but it has plenty of ventilation. So if you live up here in Wisconsin, this is plenty of car for you. Also, it also has a cowl in the back. This cowl opens up internally, creating a slight negative cabin pressure while you're driving down the road. This way you could draw air straight through your heater or your defrosters without having to open the windows. Think of it like a forced vent without having to open your windows. One thing I love about the interiors of these cars is the really big steering wheel and all the chrome on the inside. Your dashboard, it has your original radio still in it. One thing you could do is cut that out and put a newer radio in there, but one thing a lot of people do, what the original owners tried to do, is they made this little bracket underneath to hang a modern radio in there. Either way is acceptable. If you buy the car, that's the way I would set it up. Your dash pad is actually in good shape. But as you see, it's original green interior. The headliner on this car is actually really good shape, with one notable exception all the way over here. That obviously could be redone without too much of a big deal. The back dash as well, it's dirty. It's an older car that's been sitting in storage, but it's very much in good shape. The seats are not ripped, they're simply dirty. The only issue with the seat is this here. They put this strap between the front and the back of the seat to try to hold the seat back from going back too far. Obviously, that's a structural problem in the seat's frame. That's not too big a deal to take care of for you. I'll have Mac go ahead and roll up the windows so you see what it looks like with the windows rolled up. That's how she looks with the windows rolled up. Now I have the trunk tied down just because I've removed the lock assembly for paint and stripping the car. This is the original color of the car right here, this green that you see here. That can change. I don't know why somebody hit some primer on the bottom, but they did. Like you say, the original people just put primer right over the existing coat of paint. Right here is the jacking instructions, again, original to the car. Notice I have the trim pieces here. I have other stuff in the shop, but I do have all the components to it. The trunk is solid. There's not a tremendous amount of rust. If anything, there's just some surface rust. You'll see here where I put the new quarter panel bottom to it. That's yet to be treated. Again, the car, after that got done, was transported here and basically forgotten for a while. Taillights are removed, but it has that rocket pod style taillights to it. And the only thing I have to get brand new that I had to cut off because it was damaged was the rear bumper. Now I was thinking about doing some kind of custom bumper with exhaust exits out of the bumper. That's part of a thought that I have, but we'll see. If I bring the car up, I'm going to do something custom with that bumper. I don't think I'm just going to put a factory one right back on it. But of course, if you buy the car and that's what you want, we can put a factory bumper right on there, no problems. Now, as for the grille that's missing, the front bumper that's missing, I have that. If you look at any other videos, you'll see it up on top, up on stairs in my storage room. I have every piece of chrome that goes to this car. There is literally nothing that's missing. A lot of the tape that you see on the car is to protect the chrome from the stripping process, which we did not use chemical stripper. We actually sanded it down. So everything taped is where there's a chrome piece that I don't want to peel off because you break the little clips when you take them off. As you can hear, she's got a pretty nice little exhaust note to it. I don't think she sounds too bad for an inline six. Just about the right exhaust. As you can see, she runs and drives just fine. The transmission shifts good. It's got a 3-speed transmission in it. It is an automatic, but it shifts really, it runs and drives quite nicely. It's a pleasure to drive, even just these little circles right here. Have a camera. Now she's got a 3-speed automatic and she drives real nice. Here's the view from me sitting behind the wheel. Power steering, 1-finger turn. Nice and easy. Your elderly grandmother could drive this car easily. Bring her right back to the good old days when cars were cars. goes around just fine. I like the car, I'll be honest. You guys don't buy this thing, I'll keep it for myself. I'll let Jen drive it, or I'll give it to my kid. I like this car. I think it's a wonderful car. I think it'll be a wonderful car for you too. Alright guys, that's my 1965 Ford Galaxie 500. If you like it, go ahead and leave a comment below. If you'd like to buy this car and have me build it for the way you would like to have it done, go ahead and give me a call. FeszchakShop Speed and Custom Shop, 920-202-4036, right here in Freedom, Wisconsin. If you just simply like the video, if you're one of my subscribers and you just simply like the video, hope it was reasonably entertaining for you. I know it's not the normal kind of car content we do around here, but hey, you know, like I said, this is the kind of stuff we do. This is a rust-free, solid car. What I would like to do is fix this car up for somebody, do some videos with it, and let the new owner take it, enjoy it for what they want to do with the car. I think it'd be a great car just to drive around and look different rather than the same old stuff you see every day on the street. However, if the car doesn't get sold and custom built for a customer, I'll go ahead and paint it myself. Most likely just bring it back to factory green and put it up for sale as is while we drive the car to demonstrate the fact that it is usable. And it is a very much desired car as far as a driver, something you can actually drive around and not lose in the Walmart parking lot. Now, even after this car sells, I'm going to keep the video up, so here's what you do. If in the link in the description the car says the car is still for sale, well, then it's for sale. Still to this day you're viewing this, even if it's years later. If it says the car has been sold, hopefully you take this video as an entertainment to see this kind of stuff that we do here at the shop. That's the idea behind this video. So with that, thank you for watching. I am Steve Feschak. This is FSC, FeszchakShop Speed and Custom Shop. What else can I do for you?